if we just covered phishing stories, we could have an hour-long presentation every month that only talked about phishing. So instead, I wanted to focus on a couple of research notes that came out this month. So let's start with the state of Michigan. So they did a security audit. Part of that audit was focused on cybersecurity awareness. 5,000 employees were audited. 25% of those employees clicked the malicious link in that email, and 20% of those employees entered their user ID and password. In total, that is 250 employees in the state of for the state of Michigan that just gave access to the network. That's across a bunch of different departments. Some have access to more sensitive data than others, but clearly that's troubling. I'll talk about lessons learned here in a summary of this slide, but there's an important note about how Michigan handles their security awareness today. Another report that came out this month, Microsoft released their annual security intelligence report. So I wish I could have spelled it out on the slide, but I was running out of space there. So the acronym SIR is how we'll refer to it. So Microsoft, by virtue of having a large network of services that lots of people use, uses their security intelligence report to review the security landscape over the past year. So that includes looking at 400 billion emails, 450 billion authentications, and 1.2 billion devices. For the phishing portion, focus on the fact that 53% of email threats are phishing. That's probably not entirely news to most of you. Additionally, 75% of those contain a malicious URL. So again, in the lessons learned, we'll talk about what that means for us. So the last kind of piece of research or reporting that I looked at this week is on business email compromise. And when we talk about business email compromise, we're talking about more than the sending of malicious links. We're talking more about impersonating others once you've breached a system, or spoofing others once you've breached a system. Things beyond what today's technology and even tomorrow's technology is able to pick up. So this statistic's been kept for a little while by a few different organizations, but back in 2016, the FBI reported 3.1 billion in losses as a result of business email compromise. In 2017, that number grew to 5 billion, and now Trend Micro, the security solution company, has estimated over $9 billion in losses as a result of business email compromise. And the main takeaway of this is technology has its limits. So a few lessons that I think each of these reports reinforced here. One is the importance of developing a comprehensive security awareness program. So one note on the state of Michigan audit there, they actually have a security awareness program. However, it's not being enforced with all users. Only a subset of their users are in the security awareness program. But 250 users in your organization giving away their credentials is a huge security concern. Once a user, even if they're, say, lower level, don't have access to as sensitive of data, that one hook into the network is enough to start building and seeking out those other credentials and things like CEO fraud and other dangers. So having a comprehensive security awareness program is important. At Peters and Associates, that looks what we do for both our customers of our security awareness program, as well as internally, is on-demand training, all new employees, and regularly after that. and monthly phishing tests. So being repetitive, making sure it's being reinforced. If you fail the phishing test, rolling you back into training automatically. So full coverage kind of for security awareness. The other takeaway from both the Microsoft report and the business email compromise, technology solutions are not enough. Your users often looked at as the weakest link in the security chain today. They can also be one of the strongest links if they're well trained and can alert you to possible attempts at breaching the network. And then, of course, regularly audit your environment. That's right in line with doing regular phishing tests and making sure that everybody is on their game when it comes to security.